3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
All right, let's do this. Let's hit the books. Part of the Hammer Betting Network, sponsored by FanDuel, alongside the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish, producer extraordinaire Zach Phillips. It's all about the U, baby. 24-10 halftime score, Miami dominating the Florida Gators. Before we get into that game, as far as the first half recap, before we get to your questions and comments, let me remind everybody that we are indeed sponsored by FanDuel, and you can start your college football season off with a win on FanDuel, because right now new customers can kick off the season with $200 in bonus bets. Just place any $5 bet and you'll get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. You can use it on spreads, live bets, totals, and so much more. Obviously, FanDuel has been first to market in a lot of these, whether it's FCS, whether it's game of the years, win totals, you name it. Great menu there at FanDuel. Keep in mind, you must be 21 plus and present in select states for Kansas in affiliation with the Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC. First online real money wager only. $5 first bonus deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE New York, or text HOPE New York in New York. Knish, you can take your victory lap, because are we betting Miami to continue to pour it on in the second half?
I mean, I think they look like two different level of opponents there on the field there. I don't think the second half, my friend, are we hitting that national championship tab and going over there for a little bit of a hurricane all the way? A little bit facetious there. I wouldn't be facetious if the ACC bets were still up, because from what I've seen from the week one, they're about head and shoulders above the rest of the ACC. It's been a bloodbath for the ACC outside of that. So, yeah, Rocco, my boy in the chat, I see you. Unfortunately, I'm gonna probably jinx your Canes again for the second year in a row. But that's an impressive football team, I will say. I was impressed by all facets of the game for Miami in that first half.
Yeah, outside of Cam Ward's interception, and the long touchdown run by Florida, Miami clearly the superior team. And from what we've seen so far in the ACC, clearly the superior team in the ACC, because it's not been a good, at least it wasn't a good morning and early afternoon for the ACC.
I'll never forgive myself for getting off that Georgia position. I will never. I mean, I bought the camp reports, the injuries. I bought it all. And you know what? I mean, for what it was, the line closes. This Clemson I should have stopped. So play the tape from 3 months ago, because that's the Joey K I should have listened to. That this Clemson program, maybe they'll make a bowl game at 5-7. I mean,
they'll be better than that. But yeah, I hear you. I think part of it, you're right. Clemson's no longer a national title contending team, and that's what happens when you're not a national title contender and you face the best team in the country. You get your ass beat. Georgia looked pretty good. Yeah,
I mean,
a third string running back and them all banged up, at least perception of the market. That's pretty good. So they'll stay number one after a day, especially the Buckeyes aren't looking too hot right now. Yeah, any other major takeaways? I mean, obviously Vanderbilt and kudos Burt Brownie's new member. RW fan already a member. Vanderbilt over 2.5 wins. You're right. If you got that ticket, you're feeling pretty good.
What is wrong with? I turn my back on my people. Pavia, kill. They go to Vandy, and I turn my back on them. I feel, I stab them in the back. What do they do outright week one? This Vandy team is like 3 touchdowns better than last year's. Honestly, like the watching the first half, it's like night and day from any Vandy team in like 8 years. Like that team, I mean, that was not flukish. They were head, and then they even took the counterpunch from Virginia Tech, go down and come back and win it. Yeah, I mean,
and even missed the game-winning field goal and still won in overtime. I mean, how many? That's the resiliency. How many times do you see give up the big lead and then, I mean, it's you can't get it back, and then you miss the field goal right before overtime. That's a mentally tough unit there. That's Jerry Kill and Pavia. I don't know if you can run Pavia all season if he's going to make it, but boy, he had a good day today, over 100 yards rushing.
Yeah,
X cooked though. Even the early win totals, I would say, are cooked. You can't have that. So that was not a good look there. You're right. It was legit. There wasn't anything fluky, to be honest with you, on that one. Any other surprising? I mean, I was stunned. Iowa's offense in the second half. Unbelievable.
It was. I mean, it was classic Iowa first half. You're like, this.
Yeah, I mean, I gave out Illinois State. I was feeling pretty good at halftime, weren't you? 6-0.
I was with you on that. I was like, oh well, looks just like it's looked for a decade, and then McNamara started cooking a little bit. So, I mean, some of that, I think, is the fact that Illinois State couldn't pick up a first down, and then the defense kind of basically just gassed out there in the second half and gave up a few big plays. But, yeah, I'll give them credit. I mean, it's the most points they've scored in a half, and I don't know, since World War II. I don't know when's the last time I put up that. So, I mean, yeah, they can take the victory lap for a week there.
Yeah, I think a macro point, the gap between the gap between the FBS and FCS is large. It's getting wider. I mean, all these. Yeah. I mean, I'm betting these huge dogs, and they're just getting destroyed. I mean, Purdue easy winner, Tennessee easy winner, Louisville. Although I did bet Louisville, that easy winner. I mean, Portland State took a ton of money. I mean, Washington State's got half 100 at halftime. I mean, This is. I am gonna. There has not been one upset in the FBS FCS. Obviously, Montana State was favored, so that's not an upset over New Mexico last week. But I think what we're at like 30, and not a single upset. And most of the games are getting covered by the big favorites. So that's macro. There's a big difference there.
No, that's a great point.
Any other? I mean, I haven't got a good feel for the Penn State West Virginia game. 2-hour. Rain weather delay. I mean, took the energy out of the stadium. But Penn State's offense got it. I mean, tough start, and then them 3 drives before halftime, they started getting things going in the passing game.
Yeah, no, I mean, just to pile on, like the South Dakota State, I think is like that's a great point you brought up. Was like is I think a touchdown better than any other FCS team, and they're getting it taken to, and they were playing. I mean, I'll give it. God damn it, Gundy. Oklahoma State looked pretty damn good because that was South Dakota State was playing with them in the first half.
They're a great team, and I mean, it's been clearly Oklahoma State all day. I mean, even took money in the market. Were you surprised at that?
No, because I remember I'm on the show yesterday. I knew some people that were coming in Oklahoma State. I'll admit I doubled a little bit more down when some 14s popped. And listen, I mean it's been the right side. So hey,
I mean that won't get pub. I can't believe the game wasn't televised because I mean honestly. With South Dakota State, if you factor in their power rating, I mean, that was probably a top 10, 12 game today as far as two teams' power rating. And, I mean, they whipped them. I mean, people are just going to overlook that. I mean, South Dakota State had won, 29 straight games coming into today? Oof. I mean, Oklahoma State looks pretty good. I'm trying to see if there's anything even last night, because keep in mind, we didn't talk. Oh, yeah, I should, last night. Any general thoughts? Because contrary to Mike Vivian in the chat, I wasn't overwhelmed by Oklahoma. No. I mean, there were +6 turnovers. So I wasn't running the window to running to my spreadsheets and upgrading the Oklahoma power rating.
No,
Stanford TCU game, it was so late. But did you play any second half there? I thought that's probably the most obvious second half play I've seen in this season.
No, Joey K was Joey in bed at that time. But listen, I will say it's nice to be on the right side of one of those where if you got some joined us on some Stanford, one of those little late field goal, 2 250 yardage disparity. We'll take the cover in that one. So yeah, and your call on Friday, Western Michigan. I thought that was a competitive game into the second half there.
Very that was not indicative. The finals not indicative
of
the game. In fact, Western was up and changed the whole game. Was a fumble on a punt. Hit one of the upright guys. He bounced off of him. That changed the whole complexion of that game. And then FAU, that was our best bet that we had. Didn't look good. I got the text from Fez. I'll pull it up because this is unbelievable. This MFer.
That was. That was another one that really wasn't. I mean,
it was ugly.
Michigan. That was ugly. That was real ugly. Now, I mean, I'm not saying like we shouldn't have. It's like either team could have won that game, and it's not like. I mean, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be bullish on either team going forward.
He texted me, Sparty is rolling. We need the good plays tomorrow. That was, I mean, they were, hold on. They never covered at any point in the game, did they?
No, they were up 13.
But they're rolling now. 0.0, the amount of time that they were covering in the game. Well, Aiden Childs had a tough day. Ooh.
He did have a tough day.
If FAU has a more functional quarterback throwing the football, that's a loss for Michigan State.
I agree. And that I will say, Tom Herman year 2, that's what the offense looks like. I mean, you needed
Fancher sucks, man. He's no good.
You needed as you just said it, like you needed half a pulse and you win that game. Your defense dominated. Childs was awful. And it was like you couldn't come up with a guy that can throw for 150 yards. Like, yeah, that was brutal. Also brutal. Yeah, I see it in the chat there. Colorado State this first half that they played. Oh boy. I don't think our follower Nicolosi prop is hitting. And I don't think Colorado State is hitting anything. I mean,
yeah, that was Raz. They might possibly hit something. Remember, you and I put under their win total on the Mountain West preview show.
I'd like to pop that one again. Because I'm feeling that. I mean, that's a rough first. And I know you're playing a Power 5 talented top 5 team and all that, but that was ugly. I don't think they crossed midfield. So.
Just the gap. I'll tell you, at one game at halftime, Nebraska, I haven't watched a ton of it, but they're looking pretty functional. That's going to be can't wait for next week. Nebraska, Colorado. Ooh,
oh, baby.
That's going to be a great one.
That is going to be a good one.
Do we do anything? Obviously, people are tuning in for the half. Are we doing anything in the second half of this Miami-Florida game? Are we betting Miami?
I tell you what, if Miami.
I think a pick, I would lean Miami. I think this is a blowout.
I lean that way, too. That late touchdown kind of.
Yeah, it took all the energy. The stadium was dead. Then the big touchdown run for Johnson, and then they were renewed, and then that touchdown probably wiped everybody out. Keep in mind, it's 90-some degrees. These people probably want to go home. So, I mean, it's tough trusting Cristobal, but I think that this is a blowout. So, should we go best bet or just say, lean pizza money?
I would put it as a lean here.
All right, lean. Do we got any best bets on the final card? I am seeing in the Zach is telling me book it Trent, Texas A&M -3. The Mega Max 10-unit whale.
That's a very, very popular play. We'll leave it at that. I would not be betting Texas A&M at 3. I'm not like dying to come in on Notre Dame, but I mean, we talked about it.
You make a bet if it's 3.5. I bet.
Yeah. yeah, I would. I would. Yeah, you give me a 3.5. I'll buy back some ND for sure. Yeah, no, I agree with you. That's probably that would be the only I think play that's in reasonable range there for that game. Because
Northwestern just scored. Have you seen Lake Michigan's beautiful? I
have seen some shots of that. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I did actually. I was betting a little second half before we got on. Northwestern was one. Second half was like pick. I was a little late, so I got a little juiced pick there. But...
Yeah, they had a couple turnovers. Then they have a couple fumbled snaps. They're on one of my TVs. I can't watch every single play, but looks like they just scored, so that's good.
Yeah, I think that's the right side in that one. Is that they?
Well, it better be because I think it's the best bet. We laid 2.5 on the show Monday. I think.
Did we fire that in on the best bet?
Yeah, Monday on the show, -2.5.
Hey, well, I mean,
I'm just
listen,
looking, man, I bet so many damn plays, like, especially
I
week
know,
1 where
my
I
brain's
forget
like,
what the hell I have. I mean, I know what I'm rooting for. It's just I forget, okay, I do have that on that show and that on that show. It's just unbelievable. And then I'm thinking like, oh yeah, great one for that show. I'm like, I didn't even pick it for that show. What the hell is going on? Uh ridiculous. Trying to think. Oh, speaking of the Notre Dame Texas A&M game, we have an official announcement here from Zach Phillips,
oh,
who's looking to root for a college team. Maybe I want to hear this. Drum roll. Where's the hat at? You got the hat on the tables?
I don't have any of the hats on the
You
table
don't have
yet.
it? I got plenty of
I got to get that.
Yeah,
I
here
took
you
a
go,
lot
man.
of.
You want one right here? Right here.
Yes.
Play like a champion.
I'm picking Notre
Hopefully
Dame.
they do, but I doubt it.
Notre Dame is the team I'm going to be cheering for. I listened to a lot of people. I got a lot of DMs. I had some friends of the show reaching out. Had franchise trying to convince me to go Virginia Tech. What a mistake that would have been.
You dodged a bullet there.
I'm going with the Fighting Irish, boys. That's my team. That's the pick I'm making. I'm a Leafs fan as well, so it's just been a life of misery. Why not add on with the college football team? Why not?
Luck of the
That
Irish.
would be a very similar, last championship 30 years ago. Used to be the best team in the sport. Can't win a big game since. So you're in line there. I would have not. If the chat's wondering, I did not. I was not advising him to pick Notre Dame. I wouldn't root that for my worst enemy. I mean, it's just. I guess you can join. It's not a party. I mean, it maybe a pity party, but it's. Oof. Hopefully you change. Now I'll tell you what. If they win tonight, their biggest road win in a decade, I'll give you all the credit.
All right.
I'll send you some super chats.
All
Live
right.
on the Monday show. So, yeah, I can't believe you picked Notre Dame. My goodness, probably not a good day to do it either. But,
Fighting Irish, boys. Let's go. All right,
go Irish. All right, thanks, Zach. Appreciate that. Let's get to the chat. We'll go a little bit longer because I don't think there's going to be much of my second half of this game. Brian, UConn remains a basketball school. That was market took ton of money all summer on Connecticut. Never was anybody back on Maryland. No. And Maryland just absolutely destroys them. I mean, all these dogs are going down, except the one I give out. I give out South Carolina, and they're struggling against Old Dominion. I see. Wacky Whacker, Folly Nicolosi wouldn't start at Wisconsin Whitewater.
He was going to get. He was offered $600,000 according to Norvell, for a lot of programs. So, yeah, maybe $60 period.
Yeah. 600,000 not to come. Jack, chat, do we like Notre Dame +3? No, you probably need a 3.5 there.
Yeah, it might come. See, it depends on where you shop, but there's some juice 3 starting to get out there, so keep an eye on it.
James Madison back down to 7, -260 money line after an initial move from the press conference team. Where you at on that one? I'm on both sides. I laid 6.5, took 11. I'm just sitting back.
Yeah, I kind of did a little. I don't have as strong, when some of that stuff was coming out about Charlotte, like the injuries and stuff, grabbed some like 5.5, 6 that was out there, and then popped a little bit of Charlotte on the over. I think 7 was about. I mean, it's hard to say with so many guys. I think 7 was about right, so I would kind of leave it where it's at the moment.
Pizza Man's in there, or no?
No, it's the fake Pizza Man.
Fake Pizza Man. No, I'm dead wrong. As Miami goes down the field. I think that second half bet, we should have best bet it. You know what would have happened? I mean, they'd have lost outright if we gave it out, but it was a lean. So you know what happens then. I mean, it's going to be 49-10. Will in the chat, I'm rolling so far, but can't figure LSU USC. I think my best course now is waiting on the late over money. Coming in tomorrow, I'm betting the under. I think that's the right call there.
I agree.
3?
Yeah.
Unless we get like a 3 on LSU, then I just got too much of a power ratings overlay. I know we're strong on SC. I bet USC. We've given out USC, but I mean, numbers are numbers. We're not GRP here, betting teams. So that would be the only time I would think about it. But I agree. I think the game plan there is play under because you will get over money. Zach in the chat, or actually Sox fan 34-14 might be a better question for Monday, but what kind of adjustment do you make for Stanford TCU deceiving final? Yeah, you slightly downgrade Stanford and you upgrade TCU. But I wouldn't go wild with. I wouldn't go wild with either.
I agree.
TCU sloppy as can be. Again for the second year in a row. I mean, just stupid mental errors. And Stanford was, I mean, they're functional. I mean, they probably shouldn't have covered, but I mean, talking about, I mean, they were one of the worst power teams in the country last year, and you're in it at least. You're up at halftime against a team that's probably going to a bowl game in TCU. We'll see. I wouldn't overreact to that
Yeah,
game.
I'd say minimal adjustment on both.
Yeah. There were some funky bounces and stuff. I know it's past your bedtime, but I mean, balls bouncing up in the air and stuff. It was just a goofy game. Zach in the chat, would you be crazy to buy a nibble of Heisman on Alar? Could be a total overreaction, but new OC has them humming. What do you think there?
I don't know if I don't know if Heisman's the way I'd play it. But I definitely think Penn State has looked real
Playoff
deal.
team.
Yeah, playoff team and a team that can win the Big Ten. Like has Ohio State coming in. This is kind of a pretty big stat. What they've done with that offense looks drastically improved, and the defense was always there, and they've always had. So they made some modifications.
Remember, we gave out Penn State against the Buckeyes. That bet was looking a little better. It's just one data point, but I mean, Ohio State's playing a tomato can, and Penn State's playing somebody on the road. And I mean, come on. I like our position there a little bit more. Carson Beck over 260. Yeah, it was my one winner today.
That was a nice.
I thought they should have. I thought he should have had 300. I thought it was too conservative a game plan early. I thought I would have been throwing it from the first series.
Mm-hmm. But I agree. It was a little bit of kind of Kirby ball he's real deal too. Like he's to me,
isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, like folks, that's what a first round draft.
Yeah.
Looks like.
Like you watch. I agree with you, especially when they get some of the pieces. Like they just got to let him rip it this year because.
Yes,
he's special.
I know they won 2 titles with the walk-on Stetson Bennett, but this guy, they haven't had a guy like this.
No,
in a minute. So better than Jake Fromm and stuff. So this is they're going to be tough to beat. I can tell you that. And for everyone saying Ohio State's better, I mean, who would you rather have a quarterback? Just comes out of the most important position in any sport. Will Howard, they're messing around here with Akron, or come on, the number 1 pick in the draft. Get out of here. Ryan Hart in the chat, live Syracuse. I haven't been paying attention to that. That was a little tighter than what I expected.
Ohio just scored to start the second half.
Wow,
unfortunately, and so that was one we snuck in at end of TD first half. I actually saw some money coming in on Syracuse second half, and then Ohio comes right down and scores. So this one looks in a little bit of trouble. We'll see though. I think it looks like we're at the Ohio side of need a touchdown on this drive.
Yeah. Sports investor Brad, we need feedback on the top battle, Eastern Michigan UMass. Yeah, right now Eastern is looking good. Chris Creighton's good coach. He's a road dog. I was not, I just bet the pick because they said it was just a little pizza bet for me because I just was trying to get out in front of some steam. But as of right now, not jinxing them, Right Angle Sports against the tag team duo, the mega powers of Mr. Muscles and Tailgate Tent. Right now, old Raz is taking it to him.
Yeah, I mean, East, little bit of UMass has hung, total yardage. 270, 230. So there's been some. I will say it was a very ugly start for UMass. They have gotten it going a little bit here. So we'll see if they can make a game of it down the stretch.
FCS question, Ryan, Montana -13 tonight. I would not play either side at that number. They are a machine covering at home, but they don't have much coming back, Montana. And sometimes they get off the slow starts. Even at home last couple of years. So no, nothing there. Jack, Hawaii +14. My luck because the old tout service gave out UCLA probably outright for Hawaii.
There's been a little money trickling in on them too.
I see that. Huh. I don't know. I'll take UCLA. Because for the most part, there's been a class difference in college football today. As they're not all weekend so far.
Right.
You just see a clear class with the exception of South Carolina Old Dominion. There just is. Clearly And I mean, not that I think UCLA is great, but I think there might be a struggle there for Hawaii. I hope so, at least. Anything else? We've been I thought we'd be like very high energy. Mellow. What's going on? I had two coffees today.
I know this late in the day. Maybe we should do the noon second half game because by this late in the day, my brain's a little fried. Like there's so much going on. It's like, well, maybe we'll pick a noon game for a little, and then we can get to some of the the remaining stuff there. So
I agree. We'll do noon from now on, the noon halftime from now on. Have a little bit more juice. I guess I have no excuses because it's 3 hours later, but it's not like I'm waking up at 8 o'clock my time. I mean, I'm up at like 4:30. So, yeah, I also go back to what I said yesterday. Tired of this, just looking at the same games. Let's analyze what happens today and get on the next week's card and see if there's overreaction, underreaction. Circa is going to open them up. FanDuel is going to have them up. Really excited to see who beats who on that one. Guessing FanDuel
I'm interested as well.
Yeah, FanDuel will probably be first up on some select games, so that'll be really excited for the week 2. Yeah, I'm excited, even though it doesn't sound like it on the podcast here. John in the chat, couple more here. How would you split a UNLV unit between spread and money line? That's to you.
I mean, to be honest with you, at 3.5, I usually don't play a ton of like individual money lines unless it's something like Miami got down to a price where I wanted to play. I was looking money line there. To me, I think you take the 3 and a hook. If you want to do maybe 0.75 of a unit, 25 on the money line, but I usually for the most part stick to. I obviously will do the underdog money line round robin and stuff for some pizza money and stuff, but I mostly just bet the sides with the occasional money, quarter unit or something money line. I don't go too heavy on the money line. Top, you have I don't usually play them.
No, I don't do it. No, I'm boring. I'm just get in front of the number and see what the hell happens. I'd rather I'd take the 3.5.
Yeah, I agree.
So I wouldn't sprint. Obviously 2.5, it's a different story, but right now, I mean, I would have everything at 3.5.
Yeah.
Because I'd just be killing myself as a 3-point game. I didn't see this. Chris is Chris is doing a really good job for us as far as he's our social media guy. Chris.
He is.
Is Knish going to address the theft of pool bets? I didn't see this. Somebody else doing it?
The Lucy Britt, who created the walking bets, then got furious that people started taking our walking bets. Joey Pool Time does the swimming bets. Look at this. Now, who looked better in a bathing suit? We can debate that. Some people on the show would say that Joey K was, in a little bit better shape, but she takes the swimming bets now. Yeah. I mean, listen. Right.
There you go.
I mean, so I'm you come up with a theme and then just people take it. You can't keep it hot these days. People just take it.
Yeah, they're good ideas are good ideas. You didn't copyright it, so
yeah. There, thank you, R-Dub. I appreciate it.
Interesting. Not too many more swimming pool days there in Michigan, I'm guessing. Even though it's a heated pool.
We'll have to jam them in here.
Ben Finley's out for Akron. Was he even playing? I don't know. I haven't watched any of that game. I just got the Don Best report there. They got somebody else in there now. Man, I'll tell you, the Buckeyes, that's a pretty...
How's Bullock is in. To be honest with you.
Under. I just let him run.
I don't know if I don't know if I'd consider that a major downgrade. I'll just say that. If anything, boy, Raiola looks good, man. 18.
Yeah, that's gonna be a while. Remember, the guy asked us about. Let me give kudos to the guy that asked us about the ACC. I mean, I was thinking about him on the noon games when Virginia Tech's going down and Clemson's getting killed. Remember, he asked us, "Does that correlate to the ACC being bad? I want to bet against all these ACC teams tomorrow." And I was like, man, in the noon window, that guy was right.
Yeah.
What else was I? Shoot, I just lost my train of thought. Whatever. It don't matter. It wasn't anything important. No, this Buckeye team is not overly impressing me.
No, this is a slot. Will Howard's having a that. I mean, but what were their big questions coming into the season, right? Quarterback and offensive line, and through through quarter, 2.5 quarters, the quarterback looks mid, and the offensive line isn't doing that much. So yeah, I don't know. Well, what's one? I can't.
I know what it was. You're asking about Dylan Raiola. It was
No, I thought I was
Colorado, Nebraska total over.
Oh yeah, the one. Yeah, I remember somebody asked us on the under. Like, no, sir. Especially after that.
Over
19 for 27, 238, 2 touches. Man,
I'll give you. Man, I shouldn't get. No, I'm not gonna do it.
Need keep it in the chamber.
Yeah, I need all the wins I can get. Otherwise, I mean, it's gonna be ramen noodles. Maybe that's what I need. Lose some weight. Just not eat because I can't afford anything. Any final thoughts? Sorry, this is pretty low key, guys. I know we went in the second half of this Miami game, but it's going as expected. This is gonna be a blowout.
Yeah.
I mean, best actionable. If that one book off and friendly off places, first coach to be fired is gonna be Billy Napier.
Yeah, this is. The way this is playing out is. I think it's over for old Billy. I don't know when, but this season at some point.
UCF's going to beat them. I mean, come on. All them games, 5 games at the end of the season against top 15 teams, it's over, man. I mean, it might be 3-9, 4-8. I don't know what you do. That's rough for your Gators fan. That'll do it. I'm sorry. I ain't got much to add. It's just the same games, nothing really new. There wasn't any like quarterback injuries and stuff to get in front of. The board was lit this morning, but it's been pretty quiet. I don't even think many people are. I think they're just watching. Nobody's really actively betting, at least the pre-flop stuff, the sides and totals. So, got anything else?
No, I think
you all right. Yeah. Like, I mean, what's with you?
I'm no. It's late in the afternoon. I'm scrambled here.
Fair enough.
I've been sweating and betting all day. We need some hazard pay here, some double time for Pizzola getting us on a Saturday. So yeah, I got noon next week for sure.
All right, yeah. From now on, we are going to do a noon game. Halftime of the big noon game. Probably the big. Oh, it's got to be next week because it's Texas, Michigan. So we're definitely doing. That's the Fox Big Noon kickoff.
There we go.
Halftime of that one next week. But before then, we'll have you covered here at Hit the Books because we got a Monday show, a Friday show. So we'll recap the entirety. We got some big games still coming. Obviously tonight, Notre Dame A&M game, big game tomorrow, and then we'll preview the Monday night game as we do the Monday show, I should say. And that'll be that. Good luck on all the bets. For the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish, producer extraordinaire Zach Phillips. Good luck to his new team, the Fighting Irish. I'm merely Brad Powers. You just watched Hit the Books, part of the Hammer Betting Network, sponsored by FanDuel.